I was with my ex-fiancée for a little over 10 years. I was an idiot, and now I don't think I can trust anyone again. She was my high school sweetheart, and she cheated on me twice in the 10 years we were together. First time happened when she was in college, and it was a one-night stand. The guilt was killing her, and she told me months after. I broke things off, but we got back together a little under a year later. After that, we both worked on ourselves and found each other again. I learned to forgive her because she was young, dumb, and college is the place to do stupid shit like that. But I never forgot. Fast forward 5 or 6 years later, she graduated college. I've been working my job. We both grew, moved in, and had an apartment together. For a while, we even got a dog. I supported her mentally, physically, and financially. I asked her to marry me. We were engaged for a little over 2 years at that point. We wanted to save for a house, so I proposed that we both move back into our parents' and save towards buying one. I told her that it'll be tough, but I believe we can make it through together. How stupid and wrong I was. Around the end of last year, she was saying that she hasn't been doing anything for herself and was seeing all our mutual friends go on trips by themselves and would like to do something like that. I suggested she go visit one of her friends that she's been wanting to meet. Since we're both gamers, I told her I trusted her and to have fun. We saved up and I sent her on her way. She was meeting someone I trusted and we met before online. Looking back, I'm a fucking idiot for not seeing how bad of an idea this was. But I guess hindsight is 2020. We never struggled financially, nor had any fights. When we moved back to our parents' house, I always texted her "I love you" every day and made sure I called her whenever I could. But then I started noticing a wedge was growing between us. There were days she didn't want to talk to me. An ugly feeling was growing in the pit of my stomach. At one point, she called me annoying with the phone calls because they were the same thing every time. Whenever I tried to reach out to her so we could make plans like dates or trips, she'd blow me off and want to stay in and play with her gaming friends instead. She would always use the excuse, "Well, you're going to marry a gamer girl, that's to be expected," and take road trips on her own to visit friends located in the neighboring city. I was starting to feel lonely, and we had a long talk about finding back that spark in our relationship. She agreed, but then that came crumbling a few days later. She went downtown with her friends, girls' night out, and I told her to have fun and to call me if she needed me. So at 2 a.m. she calls me, and I can hear that she's very drunk. She asked me to pick her up, and I did. I told her friends that I'll text them when she's home safe. Now she's puking in the toilet at her home, and I grab her phone to text her friends, but then I see a suspicious "I love you too" text to her friend she visited a few months ago. Curious now, I checked the messages and to my horror, all of them were her sexting and exchanging nude photos and videos of herself with a guy I trusted. Then I checked her phone even more and saw she was seeing at least 3 different guys, sexting and making plans to hook up. All those messages went back to over a year, maybe longer, considering she's deleted messages and how long she's known these people. I'm angry. I'm betrayed, and it took everything I had not to do something I would regret. I took a deep breath and took back the engagement ring and the spare key to her new car that I bought her 3 months ago because her old one was breaking down. I called her mother and told her that I can't marry or be with her daughter anymore. She betrayed me, and I can never trust her ever again. I told her I found stuff on her phone, but didn't tell her what exactly had been found. But she was still able to connect everything together and understand why I was leaving. That night, I had no sleep. The next morning, she showed up at my house, and I told her I needed the car I gave her. She explains she needed it for work, and I told her that she should have thought of that before she cheated. She asked about the dog we got, and I told her that I will fight her even if she attempts to look at my dog. The last words I said to her were, "We are too grown to be playing this childish game you're playing. I trusted you, loved you to the moon and back, and was willing to do anything for you. But this is something I can never forgive you for. I can never trust you ever again. I hope that your friend or whoever you decide to be with treats you as good or even better than I did. I'm done, and I never want to see you again. Goodbye." It's been a little over a month since I saw her walk out the door, and I've been going to the gym and even lost weight. I pushed myself to be handsome for her, but now my motivation is practically gone. I've been keeping my urge away to start drinking heavily since then, but it's been really hard. I've been depressed and can't get those damn texts and images out of my head. I sometimes think it would have been easier to just stay ignorant, and I shouldn't have checked her phone. I do miss her, and I still love her, but I know I can't be with her. I haven't seen her since. I blocked her number and on all forms of social media to keep me away from seeing her. I'm afraid to start dating someone else because I'm afraid that this will happen again. I'm just at a really low point right now.
Here's a little bit of background. We met in high school and we have been in a relationship ever since. We had broken up once for 6 months, which was 5 years ago, but we eventually got back together. She's innocent and sheltered by her parents. I'm a nice guy, but I love parties and having fun. We had amazing times and shared beautiful memories together. Never got into a fight with each other, since I would always concede and make compromises. She wanted to keep her virginity for marriage and always acted like she was being abused when I was about to penetrate. So I respected her decision and enjoyed sex without penetration. Recently, she was working 2 jobs and couldn't seem to find the time for me. I understood that, but I still tried to find moments we could meet, such as dinners on weekends. Then I began to feel as though she was acting cold towards me. So I asked her if she had something she wanted to talk about. As always, we can never have a deep conversation since she'd always end up crying or staying silent. I thought it might be the stress from work, so I planned a trip for the both of us. I thought it would be a nice getaway from our day-to-day lives. We both had fun on the trip, but she continued to act the same way when we got back to our daily grind. So now I really had a bad feeling about that. Then one day, she asked me to design her company's website. I agreed. I was checking her phone for a logo, then suddenly she deleted a conversation and I noticed that. The following day, I got into her account despite her changing the password. I found out she had been speaking with her manager for a while and asked him out on that same night. I went insane inside my head, but maintained my composure and tried to catch her in the act, but I couldn't. The following day, I met her for a talk. She denied and said that they were just colleagues having dinner. I said I want to break up because our relationship recently had no time spent together, no sex, and now my faith in her has been lost. She cried and admitted she had sex with him, but only once. I felt such pity for her because the guy that she was having an affair with is married and he even had a kid. She knew that, but she couldn't help herself. I still loved her so much and it hurts like hell. But I know one thing, and that is I can't continue with this toxic relationship. I don't want to ruin her life and that fucker's family, so I didn't tell anybody about this, even her parents. Maybe I cared for her feelings so much, I ended up being a dumb fuck.